Okay, I'm going to read chapters 10 and 11 today. Promises, promises. All right, Fantasticos, Mr. Daniel says, rubbing his hands together like a mad scientist. First thing I'm going to do today is book talk. I'll do that a lot this year. Tell you about some of my favorite stories. When Mr. Daniels talks about books, it reminds me of Max or Oliver, like he's reading to launch a giant party. I like hearing about the story, because asking me to read would be like asking a lobster to play tennis. And then it just gets worse. He holds up a pile of notebooks. I have a surprise. I have a brand new writing journal for each of you, which you will write in every day. Oh no, I'd rather eat grass. But here's the thing. I will sometimes give you a topic, but not very often, and I will never, ever, even if an evil sorcerer threatens to turn all my correcting pens to clear ink, correct your work. Huh? Then they will never be graded. They will never be corrected, and most days I won't tell you what to write about. You may write about your life, sports, the country of Bulgaria, your favorite kind of soup, books you like, books you don't like, anything. Wow, I wonder if he's delirious. Not correcting anything? Anything we want to write? This is too good to be true. I know something is coming. There are only a couple of rules. Ah, there they are, the rules. You must put pencil to paper and do something, and I will often answer with a sentence or two. Write back? Oliver asks. Can we grade you? Mr. Daniels laughs. We're not going to grade at all. This is about communication, self-expression, no measurements. Can we ask you questions? Max asks. Sure, he says, passing out the notebooks. Can I write about football? Max asks. Anything you want. This is going to be great, Oliver yells. I'm going to ask for answers to a test, for extra recess, and unlimited ketchup in the cafeteria. Well, Mr. Daniels begins, as I said, you can ask whatever you want. He smiles at Oliver. So open up those notebooks now and add your first entry, and make it you. This journal is yours, so an introduction to you may be a good thing, no matter how you choose to express that. Keisha begins writing while Albert stares at the blank page. The room is filled with the sounds of pencil scratching. Suki is rubbing one of her blocks with her thumb. I wonder if she's thinking about her grandfather. I see a mind movie, of me walking through a forest of alphabet blocks stacked on top of each other. They sway like the trees in the wind, and I worry that they will come crashing down on me. I think about drawing that, but decide to color a big three-dimensional cube with dark black sides. He said we could do anything. I want to see if he means it. The next day, Mr. Daniels holds my journal, open to the page where I drew the black cube. I figured he wouldn't let that go. He holds his palm facing me and says, I know I said I'd never correct you, and I'm not going to. I'm just wondering if you would mind telling me what this means. Do you like the color black, or does it mean something? Either way, it's okay. I think of the kind of things that might make him mad, and remember how he said a person can be too good at the wrong things. Maybe I don't want to get in trouble this time. Well, it's a picture of a dark room. Oh, why would you draw a picture of a dark room, Allie? He looks serious now. It was supposed to be something about us. Why would a dark room have anything to do with you, Allie? His voice gets soft, really soft. I swallow hard. Because in a dark room, no one can see me. He stares down at the black cube. Then he clears his throat. Okay. Thank you for being honest, Allie. I'm so relieved he isn't mad. Allie? He pauses. Can you tell me why you don't want to be seen? I think it would be easier to be invisible. Why? I shrug. I want to give him an answer, but I have both too many words and not enough words. He nods slowly. Well, he says, I'm glad you're not invisible, Allie, because this class wouldn't be the same without you. I don't believe him, but it makes me happy he said it. I realize looking at him that all this time I haven't been looking teachers in the face. I've been staring into their stomachs while I sit at my desk, and they tell me the things that are wrong with me. But now, on top of all those other big wishes that I carry around, I have one more. I want to impress Mr. Daniels with every tiny little piece of myself. I just want him to like me. Okay, so Allie just told us something. So I'm going to reread the last two paragraphs of this chapter, and I want you to think about what has Allie revealed to us. What has she told us? I really look at him this time, and I realize I haven't been looking at teachers in the face. I've been staring into their stomachs while I sit at my desk, and they tell me the things that are wrong with me. But now, on top of all those other big wishes that I carry around, I have one more. I want to impress Mr. Daniels with every tiny little piece of myself. I just want him to like me. So what is Allie telling us that's kind of changing with her right now? All right, and on to chapter 11, Scrambled Eggs. When we come into the classroom, Mr. Daniels makes an announcement. Attention, Fantasticos. We have a brand new Fantastico, and we have new seats, so find yours and settle in. Jessica is sitting next to Sookie, staring at Shay like their separation is a great injustice. It turns out that I'm sitting in the front row next to Keisha, the girl who can bake and write at the same time, while I can't do either. We don't speak all morning, and I can't stop worrying that she doesn't like me. When she finally glances at me, I blurt out, I don't mind being your friend. Keisha looks around. You don't have to do me any favors. No, I say, trying to undo what I mean to say. I just mean, and then I stop because I don't know what I meant, and I'm nervous and embarrassed, and that is never good when I'm trying to say something. Every word is another shovel full of dirt from the hole I've dug myself in. So I figure my best bet is to shut my mouth. But the silence gets too long and too loud, so I try to think of something to say. I always knew what to say to my grandpa, and he always knew what to say to me. I wish he were here to whisper in my ear, and then I think of Alice, and how she argued with Humpty Dumpty about using the right words. I turn to Keisha and blurt out, Do you like eggs? Eggs? She asks. Oh no, she thinks I'm a barrel full of crazy, but I keep going because sometimes my tongue goes on without my say-so. Yeah, I loved eggs. Scrambled eggs, fried eggs, poached on toast, and boiled eggs. I love peeling the shell off a boiled egg, don't you? I even like egg salad, which my brother won't even eat, even if someone holds him down. Her eyebrows scrunch up, reminding me of angry caterpillars. That's incredibly interesting. Then she searches inside her desk for something. I know this move. It's a polite way of ignoring me. People do it a lot. Finally, I just put my head down. Grandpa used to say that Alice in Wonderland falling down the rabbit hole was just like real life. I didn't used to understand what he meant, but I do now. There can't be any place on the planet scarier than a school cafeteria. I hold my tray so tight my fingers hurt. I hear, Hey, Allie, it's Shay. She is standing with Jessica and a few others. Yeah? I ask. Do you want to sit with us at lunch? Of course I don't want to sit with them, but I'm getting tired of sitting alone, and everyone else sees me sitting alone. Besides that, Shay, Jessica, and some other girls all have these woven friendship bracelets, and I have never had the kind of friends who have matching bracelets, but I have always wanted them. It's like the bracelet tells the world that the person wearing it has someone who cares about them. Not like a family member that has to care, but someone who just likes you. I want to feel a part of something. Anything, I guess. Shay is overly happy that I've said yes. I sit down after glancing at the seat to make sure I won't be sitting in a pool of glue. Shay motions me to sit next to her. She and Jessica smile. That smile that on the outside seems fine, but your gut tells you to be careful of it. There are a few other girls. Max is there with one other boy. Jessica points at Albert, and they start laughing. I look over, and I don't see anything funny. Can you believe it? Shay asks. How pathetic is that? Hey, Albert, she calls. Is that supposed to be a fashion statement? I don't get it. He's wearing his usual Flint shirt and jeans. Why are they so worked up now? Shay hits me on the side of my arm and points down at his feet. The back of his sneakers have been cut out. Shay calls him over and he comes. I don't know why everyone does what she says, even me. Today, anyway. "What's the matter?" she asks him. You don't have money for new shoes?" "Quite the contrary," Albert begins. "But given the choice of buying new sneakers that I will grow out of in 3 months, or a chemistry set that I can use for an undefined amount of time, this seemed the clear choice. They're in fine shape, except for being just a bit short." "Did you hear that?" Shay asked. "He chopped the back of his shoes off like slippers." Jessica adds, "Next he'll be wearing a robe." Shay turns to her. "I think robes would be cool. We should wear them tomorrow." "Yeah, that would be cool," Jessica says. Shay laughs, but I don't think Jessica knows Shay isn't laughing because of the robes. I think Shay said something dumb to see if Jessica would go along. Sometimes I think Jessica would follow Shay out of an airplane without a parachute. Then Shay turns to me. "Well, Allie," she asks, "what do you think of wearing robes tomorrow?" I'd like to tell her it's dumb, but I say, "Not my thing." "Is that so? Well, what do you think of Albert and his slippers?" I feel like I'm in one of those old detective movies that Grandpa loved, in a cramped, small room under a bright light, being asked a question I don't want to answer. The thought to stick up for him goes through my head, but that doesn't seem like the right answer for Shay. "They're pretty dopey," I say. "What a weirdo, huh?" I've made Shay happy, but I feel terrible. And I know that I'm going to feel even worse when the shade comes down over Albert's face, when he looks sad. But that never comes. He just stands there eating Doritos and studying us like we're lab mice. I think it curious that you worry about what I have on my feet when when the three of you are wearing red shirts. Not a wise color. Red is the color of stoplights and signs, bad wounds, warning lights, and the most severe sunburns. It represents red alerts and high fevers. Red numbers show a loss in accounting. Red represents danger. I think of all the red marks that cover my papers from teachers. How I hate to get them back. Jessica laughs the loudest. "What a weirdo, Albert." "Furthermore," he says, "any crew member of Star Trek's Starship Enterprise who wears a red shirt never appears in another episode. Frankly, I think you've made poor choices." They all burst into loud laughter. "Albert," Max says, "it's only a TV show, dude, and not a very good one either." Albert's arms stops dead on the way to his mouth with another Dorito. "Not a very good one?" "Albert," Chase says, leaning forward a bit, "you go right ahead and ignore what you look like. But it's the rest of us who suffer. We have to look at you." "Actually," he says, "I don't take my appearance lightly. I take you lightly." And with that he turns and is gone before I just lost my page. And is gone before she can pull out some other mean thing. And I wish I was more like Albert. Seeing him shuffle away in those sneakers makes me want to be better. I'm not perfect, but at least I'm not mean. And then my heart sinks because I just realize I was mean. I guess I did it because I was lonely. Now I know there are worse things than being lonely. Okay, so that's the end of chapter 11. One thing I want you guys to understand is an author introduces characters for a reason. And one way the author helps us learn about different characters is to see how those characters interact with other people, with other characters. So what did you learn about some of the characters in this chapter? Maybe think about how Shay treats others, and what does Ollie do after Shay does that to other people? And how does that change how you see her for a minute? And does she change your mind again at all? Think about what we've learned about Albert, and make sure you leave a comment for Miss Whitener or myself in answering some of those questions. Bye.